Hello, Miss Becky.
Hi.
I'm so excited that you could join me for this today.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm gonna
I
keep
think
turning you up.
okay. I don't know I mean it's easier to do live for me sometimes because I never seem to the really cool videos and clips and stuff that I take, it seems like it takes me forever to like clip them
Oh, I
together.
know. The editing part is hard to get all
Yeah.
under under your belt, underway,
Yes.
whatever.
Yes. So, I don't usually do a working live on Saturdays, so I don't know how many people will join us. But I'm just happy to be hanging with you.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Oh, there you are.
Hello,
With a
Liz a lot.
with a commercial and everything.
Lies a lot, she said to call her. Said
Oh
she
yeah,
lies.
you're I see 12 already in the room, so that's awesome.
Oh, that's cool. We went on a minute early.
A whole minute early.
A whole minute early. Just because I was already asking her questions, and I was like, oh, I probably should be asking these while we're live.
Okay. So yeah,
And
I'm
I
gonna
just.
watch you here, but right down below I have my comments bigger for my eyes because
Okay.
I can't I stream on my phone, and when it brings up the chat, it covers up the video.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's challenging to figure out how to like work multiple devices
yeah,
and things
we
like that.
hey day trip. Let's see who we have.
Hello,
Lisa
Julie.
Lot, Valerie, PC, Dirt Roads is Genevieve. Gen yeah, Genevieve. Is
Dirt
that right?
roads? I don't know.
Dirt Road Memories. Should be. Oh, I'm gonna get them mixed together now.
I don't know.
There's two. Yeah, she's a gal that's purchased from me before and watched on some of our lives.
Oh, nice.
Geneva. There it is.
Geneva. Okay. Hey, Ty. Yeah, I know. This was special because I mean, Julie and I are still going to be working live tomorrow, but I have a sale coming up on Saturday, the 29th at 3 p.m. on Dee's channel, The Thrill of the Thrift. Thrill of the Thrift. I'm doing a collab with her, and I wanted. She, I mean, she's been established for a really long time, right? She's got like 10,000 subscribers, and she gets a lot of people in her sale. So I wanted to bring stuff that scares me because I wouldn't be as scared if it has a lot of visibility and has an opportunity to go for what it's worth. Hi, Cam's Folly. Oh, good luck. Sometimes we're like a really bad
There we
accident,
go.
man. You just can't look away.
Of course, everybody's gonna message me and call me back now that we are live. When I tried to call them and tell them I'm going live, don't call
Yeah.
me.
Julie, you let me know if you want to jump in. Day trip, Julie. Oh, she said she's not very knowledgeable about glass. Okay, she wants to learn. All right, let's start with who is Becky?
Hi. Well,
Tell tell
I'm
us.
I'm Becky. My channel's Vintage Viking Treasures. And so Jenna just asked me, I started just about a year ago. The 24th of January will be my 1 year anniversary on YouTube. Mostly I started posting videos, and then I lurked a lot, watching how everybody was doing their lives and figuring it out, and so that I could learn and see how I could make it work for me on the YouTube lives. And I've been selling. Well, I've been buying, selling, reselling, antiquing my entire life. My mom says, they did auctions and antique sales and everything. My grandparents were depression glass dealers. So were my great aunt and uncle. My parents did antique shows. My dad had stripping and refinishing business for antique furniture. So I've been around it a lot. And
Wow.
yeah, and then
And you
about
love it.
I do. I love old things. I swear my husband and I have been married almost 26, more than 26 years, and I think we only have one piece of furniture we bought brand new. Everything else is antique, um, you know, inherited from my grandparents and all that kind of stuff. So,
That's cool.
yeah. So we started doing some lives on Facebook about 2 years ago when we saw that the internet sales were doing well and a good thing, and then all of a sudden it all blew up in 2020.
Yep.
So, and we saw a shift kind of where YouTube was the place to be because Facebook community is not the same as the YouTube community because the YouTube
Right.
community is amazing
Right.
and super supportive. So that was really where I saw I wanted to be. So I've been working on building my channel and here we are.
That's exciting.
So yeah.
And
And
I
I just,
started I think the first time I saw you was either with Trisha or Jody or both. And it wasn't that long ago.
yeah, oops, sorry. My, not that. Yeah. That was really exciting because Trisha, I didn't know her other than sitting and watching her
Yeah.
lives. And I purchased a few things from her. And then when she went looking and she invited me on, I was like, wow, this is amazing. This is awesome.
Yep.
So
And that's how it works.
yeah.
It's
And
it's funny. I've got a new pal. I wouldn't say that I've been mentoring. I'm
mhm.
helping, you know. And we found each other. Somebody, she's in Iowa, and her husband have a huge antique store.
Oh,
Huge. And you know, every time I learn something new or I'm trying to learn something new, a lot of people say, um, you know, there's a Facebook page for that.
oh,
There's, you know,
yeah.
everything is, you know, there's groups of like diehard collectors,
Oh, for sure.
and you know, there's only so much time in a day.
Uh,
So even though I have joined these groups, I
mhm.
haven't invested the time in just being in that group and
Yeah.
you know, rubbing elbows with people and stuff like that, because you know, I prefer my community, and
Well, in
I just
Facebook's
I haven't.
algorithms, if you don't go open the groups and see what's going on, then they just disappear. They
Right.
like fade into the background. So it's like
Right.
you never even went and joined them.
Yeah, in
So
this particular
thank you,
um
Barb.
thing surprised me, you know, because I haven't engaged in a lot of these groups. So
Hmm.
when I'm scrolling through my news feed, um, I'm only seeing groups that I've engaged in.
Yep.
So for whatever reason, all of a sudden, this post showed up in my feed of I forget I forget what the name of the group is. It's like Identified Depression Glass or something like that. It's
Yeah.
something about a specific glass group. And somebody, a different person, said, I own an antique store, and we just bought the contents of an antique store that was going out of business.
Wow.
And there's an enormous amount of vintage glass. And does anybody have any thoughts on how to sell vintage glass? Now, everybody that's in that group, they're like tunnel vision, right?
Yep.
Because they have no idea what's going on outside of that group
No.
and whatnot. So all these comments were being added to this person's post saying, lot it up, do 50% off, give it away. All this
Hmm.
different stuff. They were like, glass just isn't doing well. And I'm just sitting there going, you guys
Depends
are
on where
wrong.
you're trying to sell it. Yep.
Right. So I certainly didn't want to insert myself as a know-it-all or anything like that, because I
Hmm.
can't help them unload glass. But I did comment on there, and I said, you should make a YouTube channel and an Instagram account, because vintage glass is selling like crazy. in that platform, in that
Yep.
environment. And two people responded to me and was like, I'd like to know more about what you're talking about. I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
So I didn't promote my own channel. I just said, here's some keywords that you can look for on YouTube, and you'll find the live sales.
Yeah.
So
It's a
anyway, long
it's a
and short,
generational thing too.
yes, and long and short, I ended up messaging the two people that responded directly to me, and I sent them a link to Misty's channel, and I sent them a link to Jeffrey's channel. And
Hmm.
I said, if you want to be successful, check out these channels and see how they go. I said, one of them used to have a brick and mortar, and now she sells exclusively on YouTube.
Yep.
And the other one was selling exclusively on YouTube and now has a brick and mortar on top of it.
Hmm.
So we got to talking, and I ended up helping her actually get set up. So she was that serious about it.
Wow.
They're struggling that much with their business. So she has created a channel. She's created an email address. She posted her first video, and I'm not going to shout her out yet because she's not ready. You
Yeah.
know, she's
It
got
can
five.
definitely be overwhelming.
She's, I mean, this woman is fierce. She's ready, and she's a natural on camera. So she's very comfortable in her own skin. She doesn't bump around, and I think that she's going to end up being really, really successful, and I'm really, really proud of her.
Well,
And I
that's
hope that
good.
at some point I can have her as a guest, to, give her visibility, because man, everything that you guys want to buy is in her store.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could buy an antique store.
Yeah, this is a tough economy to do it, but I mean, if you're
Yep.
willing to go with the ebb and flow of that world, right? You can
Yes.
do well.
Yes, and we also have had, we meaning my mom and I have had booths here in we're in Colorado. Somebody asked that earlier where I ship from. Um Colorado Springs, just an hour south of Denver. We've had antique booths, mall, a booth in a mall, in a vendor mall
Mm-hmm.
for, I don't know, my mom started doing that before she retired from teaching. So going on 15, 18 years now. And there's a definite ebb and flow to that as well. You know that it's going to
Mm-hmm.
be really, really great leading up to Christmas. And then January and February are your coming down months. And as soon as taxes start coming back in, it'll ramp back up again. But you just, you can't come and go every time your sales go below, dip below where you really, really
Mm-hmm.
want to be. So it's definitely a ride for sure.
I gave them, you know, live sale, um, live sales, selling vintage, stuff like that. But her name is Val. We ended up on a FaceTime call once I realized, just how serious she was. I didn't want her to struggle.
Hmm.
So I'm like, okay, go to this tab. You need to change this on the channel. Okay, now you've got it set it for kids friendly so people can't click the bell, they can't subscribe, they can't comment. So I walked her through, fixing all the base. She just wanted to get the bones in place.
Yeah.
And she's off like a rocket. And her husband's very excited. So her husband owns her husband runs the antique shop. Obviously she helps him, but she
Mhm.
also has a bakery and a candy shop.
Oh,
So they're
wow.
both entrepreneurs, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to insert myself too much, Brett. It was just one of those, I couldn't resist responding because these poor people were getting horrible advice
Yes.
in a forum that they're trusting the response. You could tell that they just joined the
Hmm.
group, and all the group is like, "No, nope, nope,
Well, if
you're
you
not going to
talk
be
to
able to."
people in the glass world, like there's there's so many different categories. And like I say, in the real world and on Facebook is nowhere near the same kind of community we have on YouTube, which I
Yep.
don't understand. YouTube and excuse me, Facebook and real world, everybody wants to stay in their specific lane. And they want you to, like, if you go to a glass show, they only want glass. And if you go to an antique show,
Mhm.
it has to be, a certain age or older. and they want you to do your own research. They want you to figure out all
Mm-hmm.
your own things. Like you're somehow like so much competition for them that they're not willing to share what they do know in a
Right.
way.
Right.
Unless you're like really good, unless you've become friends with someone.
Right. And,
So,
I've also seen in the reseller community, there's a lot of big resellers that aren't happy about like the bolo hunters
oh
because
yeah.
then they saturate the market, right?
But
But
that's how it's been ever since like eBay
yeah,
came about.
yeah.
I mean,
My thought is yes, I want to sell my mom's things for a reasonable price because I'm building this is my inheritance. This is
mhm,
it, and I'm building the rest of my life from this, so it's important directly to me. It is not a business. It's not putting food on the table and stuff like that. I still work a
yeah.
full-time job, so I'm in a very different scenario, but for me, it's about the people. I,
Yes.
I'm I'm not I'm not desperate to keep my bottom line or my 90-day total or
Yeah.
anything like that. That doesn't prove who
Well,
I am as a person.
even for people that I know who are resellers and depend on it as an income, they feel like anybody else who's near them is a threat, when the opposite is actually true. Because when a good group of people who have a lot of knowledge and good stuff come together, it's so much more of a better experience for customers to come in,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody, oh, I don't know about that, but they know about that,
Yeah.
and you can all play off of each other, and it just makes it so much better.
Yeah, yeah, and
So,
not to mention the people that are getting upset about bolos being shouted out, not for nothing. The people that are receiving the information, I am a perfect example. I'm not superhuman. I
right?
know what's here. I've learned a little bit about everything, but it's still going to take me years to get
Hmm.
through this stuff.
Yeah.
It's not I'm not going to saturate the market this week while you have that thing listed. It's
Well,
okay, you know.
and it's not even the saturating the market, because even though, I mean, I feel like there's so much out there for everyone,
Yes.
it doesn't matter. I mean, some days I'm like, oh, they got that right down the store, right down the street, right at my thrift store. And I'm
Mhm.
like, well, but I'll turn around and 2 days later and I'll find,
Yeah.
something else just as amazing and valuable.
Yeah.
So we can't all be out there all the
Nope.
time sourcing. There's just so much out there.
And my personal life experience, I have had an enormous amount of loss in my life.
Mhm. Yeah.
Enormous. And when it comes down to those final months or weeks or even day, nobody is thinking about what their bottom line is.
No, they're
They're
not.
thinking about relationships, they're thinking about people, they're thinking about joy, they're thinking about memories,
Hmm.
and, do I have enough time to make some more great memories? So with me, it's people. It's
Yeah.
not stuff. It complete and that's probably being the daughter of a hoarder and going through I don't disagree that the things here are beautiful, and I don't disagree that I get joy from some of
Mhm.
the things here. If I say, "Oh, I'm going to keep this," I have that moment of joy, right?
Yes.
Or if something has an emotional memory or something like that, I get to experience that.
Hmm.
Um, but being in a situation where stuff came before family for so long, my situation is extreme. It's just, God, just enjoy the community, embrace the people. I
Yeah.
mean, this is life changing for me.
Yeah.
My
And
my channel and my community. Oh my God.
I know you have a great support system. I'm like, I'm gonna need this support system that you have probably within the next 10 years. Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you're building
So
it.
yeah.
I didn't do this. They came organically. They
Hmm.
came on their own. They came, it's not, I'm not a sit in a big channel shout out, I'm trying to
Yeah.
get to 2,000 subscribers, and I'm not putting anybody down that says that, because again, there are people that this is their bread and butter. This is
Yeah.
their livelihood. So the subscribers, the comments, the likes, all of that stuff, it builds up the income that they're
Hmm.
receiving from YouTube to want to
Yeah.
keep doing it. So it is important to a lot of people. Me, I love my people.
Yeah.
I mean, if 10,000 more people just like them come, fantastic.
Well,
But if
and it's amazing
10,000,
that the stuff, I mean, no matter how the stuff has kept us from people, but at the same time, the stuff has brought us all together.
yeah, yeah. Man, we are so off on a tangent, Becky, but I love your
Correct.
attitude. I love your presence. It
Thank
just,
you.
and as soon as I saw you for the first time, I was like, oh man, I really like
You
her.
know,
You know,
I think you have a great sense of humor, and I think that we kind of think along the same kind of
we
ways as
do.
well. So,
We do. I'd have to totally agree with that. And then when you started dropping knowledge bombs, man, when
eh,
you came out from lurking, we were like, Becky is so knowledgeable.
yeah. Well,
And it,
I ruffled a few feathers on a few places. However,
it
I don't
happens.
want to be like I know everything because I don't know everything. I know enough to
No,
get in
but
trouble.
when you come here,
Period.
you spew what you know anytime you want. Anytime you are on my channel, and I mean, I've got some people that they'll go back through my videos detail by detail, and they will
Mm.
post links, they'll leave comments with links, they'll leave values for things, because they understand my story, my
Oh
situation,
yeah,
that I don't know. And
yeah.
I need to know, But
You know, and
anyway,
I've had a few friends who are like, "How do you know?" I'm like, "I don't know how I know. I just grew up with some of it. So some of it is
yeah.
just in there, and you look at something and you're like, "Oh, that's what that is." You know, I haven't seen it in 20
Mm-hmm.
years, but I know what it is. And then there's other things like Fenton. If like I had John Walk on my
Mm-hmm.
channel, he's become a good personal friend of our family and a couple people here in Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
He's written 9 books about
Yeah.
Fenton. And
Yeah.
it's like you ask him a question, and it's like you just push
He
a
loves
button
it.
and it just comes out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's amazing. He has such a wonderful memory about it all. And I'm like, okay, if I can remember, even a few points of this, I'll be
Mm-hmm.
good. So
One
you got to,
one of the things that I've realized as I've been going through this house at the pace, I mean, you were surprised. You asked me, how long have you been at this?
yeah,
4 years. 4 years.
yeah,
14. Becky thought it was 8 months. Nope. That's how long I'm actually going to be having um, a 1 year anniversary celebration, um, somehow.
yeah.
I'm gonna figure it out
I was going
on
to
my
try and do that
channel.
too. So
Yeah, yeah.
I was hoping to do something in February. Ouch.
Yep.
Oh my God.
February's mine too.
Sorry, my knee just popped that I landed on last night. Ooh,
Oh,
it felt good, but ow.
yeah. Well, maybe it just popped back where it's supposed to be, and
Yeah, I
now you
think
just need
so,
a
probably.
nice big bag of ice on it.
Yeah.
But as I continue to go through this, in the beginning, my eyes just blurred. Everything was just a blur. It was just piles, and it was just overwhelming, and it was stuff, and
It's so emotional too.
it was so emotional,
Mhm.
and even if I wanted to throw it all away,
Mhm.
that was physical labor was involved in making that happen as well.
Yeah.
But as I've gone through, because I've been able to, some people, they have to get out of this situation pretty quickly. They don't
Yes.
get to slow down and deal with the emotional complications of inheriting their parents' stuff or a sibling's stuff, or whatever
Yeah.
the case may be.
There's definitely usually a much shorter time frame that you have to
Yes,
get it accomplished for
yes.
sure.
But this place, because it's been in my family for 6 generations, I mean, it's been fully paid for since the 50s.
Mhm.
The only the only expense was the tax bills, and because of its location, those are very, very low. So the once I got heat and hot water on, the expenses went up a little bit, because that didn't exist at first. There
Yeah.
was no heat, no water. There was only, oh, I just broke a light bulb. there was only electric. So there was just little space heaters and all kinds of like winter, those thick curtains she
Yep.
had hanging in certain doorways. So whatever room she was in, she would try to contain the heat
Yep.
to that room.
So
And then
how many stories do you have?
it's a two-story house, full basement.
Okay.
Um, there's two truck bodies in the back, not the engine
Okay.
part of the truck, but the back, the box
Yeah.
trucks. And there were three full storage units in the beginning. The storage units are gone. Those
Yeah.
are all emptied. I broke up with the storage facility.
Because I think
Um,
I first started watching when you had just gotten a whole bunch over to like Antique Mall for consignment of furniture and
so
stuff.
that's Rehouse. Rehouse is the only
Hmm.
place I deal with for consignment, and that was because they knew my mom was a frequent customer there, and I was drawn to certain. I've always liked metal,
Yep.
but this other stuff, glass and it never did anything for me.
Yeah.
Glass and toys and all this other stuff. Now that's changed over the course of the past four
Hmm.
years, and I think that's the point that I was trying to get to, was as I go through this stuff individually and take my time, I start to appreciate more certain qualities and certain value of certain things.
Yeah.
Like I love amberglass because I love the fall,
Hmm.
and things like that. So I have surprised myself and decided to keep a couple of amberglass pieces. As I learn about glass, I can start to recognize Fenton.
Hmm.
I've started to, obviously I've got milk glass down. I know when it's new, I know when it's old. I didn't know that in the beginning. I
Yeah.
didn't know about the ring of fire and things like that. But if it was more than one item as I started to go through here and there was a collection of things, that's when I started to focus some attention on it. Now, the things that have stuck for me are the things that I find beauty in. Like, I discovered sandwich glass. Now, apparently, somebody had done like some sort of deep dive on sandwich glass, and I hadn't seen that, but I found some sandwich glass here, and I was like, oh, I really love this,
Yeah.
And so that sticks for me. With your situation, you've been around this your whole life. You love it
Hmm.
all. So stuff sticks for you.
Yeah.
It's just the stuff that I love that really sticks. It's hard to explain.
Oh no, I mean, there's just certain things that draw you in and call your name that you really like for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But the underlying thing becomes that you can very much appreciate the workmanship and
Yes.
the craftsmanship and the time
Yes.
and the precision and the art that it took to create these pieces.
And that's a huge change in me over the
Hmm.
last 4 years, because even when I watch back some of my earlier videos, um, I'm just sitting there going, I don't get that. I don't know why that's valuable. I kind of,
Hmm. There's something for
I'm almost
everyone.
mean and rude to the stuff because I didn't get it. And then now in my live sales, because I don't lie. I don't lie. I'm just not that kind of person. If I think something's goofy, I say it's goofy. I won't sit
Hmm.
there and try to, oh, this is gorgeous and all this other stuff when I think it's stupid. I'll be like,
Hmm.
I don't get it, guys, but here you go. We'll start it at $8, right?
Yeah, there's a
Um,
lot of stuff I'm like, it's okay. And my friend will walk right behind me and she's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you didn't pick this up. It's amazing. I'm like,
yeah,
okay, well, you can have it. Great, because I don't love it. You love it.
yeah, yeah. But now I see myself even in sales where I'm like appreciating graphics and appreciating colors and all this other stuff. But
Sure.
it's not because I'm walking through an antique mall deciding what to
Mm-hmm.
buy. It's because I own all this. I
Mm-hmm.
see the differences. I see the differences in the palettes and the colors and stuff like that. So it's great.
Yeah.
But I am excited to get some help from you today, with specifically with glassware. Would you say that that's where your expertise is the most?
I'm I'm saying I would say that in the last 2 years that glassware is one of the lanes I'm trying to stay in. Like, because
Mm-hmm.
you can just go and you can
Like my
pick
mother.
like everything.
Yep,
And
like
I'm
my
like,
mother.
no, I'm trying to stay in glass and I'm trying to stay in Fenton. So, and there's a few other ones because if you go and watch some of my past videos, my mom loves everything glass. She loves
Yeah.
certain colors in glass. She loves the history of it, who the
Mm-hmm.
companies were, how they merged and came and went, and where they used to work, and why they were in each location. So she
See,
loves
I'm
it
I'm like
all.
that with Singer sewing machines, with vintage
Yep.
sewing machines. I love all the history about it and everything else, and most of this stuff. I'm just like, okay, you think it's beautiful? That's great. Would you buy it, please, so that I can buy 2x4s?
Right.
That's
Yeah.
it.
So
That's it for me. I won't hide the fact that we're building a barn, and when the
yeah.
barn is done and this house is sold, that we're gutting out a house, and this is our dream. This is what I'm working towards. So I won't deep dive as much as other people, but I appreciate those like you that do. Okay. Whew! I'm just so excited, Becky.
So did you bring
So
certain tubs in? Are you saving a certain spot for us to
So
look at?
I
What's the deal?
talked to some very knowledgeable glass people, friends in my life, and they reminded me. And in fact, I saw a couple of videos recently that reminded me that temperature is a very big thing when it comes to glass.
Yes.
And I even saw that Misty did a video recently. It was a ship with me video, and she
Hmm.
said something about the fact that a piece was, she had to refund money because a piece was broken. But I mean, it was broken because people weren't giving glass an opportunity to get up to room
Hmm.
temperature,
Yep.
and how quickly it can crack from the
Yep.
from the slightest bump
Well,
and bruise.
I mean, just scientifically, glass is quote unquote fluid. It's
Yes.
not a solid. So it moves and bends, which you don't think that it would with temperature.
Yeah.
So yeah, the
Yeah.
cold is not good for glass. And
Right.
then going from an extreme temperature, meaning even
Right.
30 degrees, it can be extreme for
Right.
glass.
So
So,
with those conversations, I opted, you know what? Wait till spring. The
mhm,
stuff has been out there, packed in boxes, and whatever survives that
mhm.
seasonal temperature
Well,
change.
it slowly went down in temperature. So as long as
Yes,
it comes back up slowly, it should survive pretty well.
it is 21 degrees according to this little box. I'm not going to say its name because then it starts doing things and pissing me off. Um, it says that it's 21 degrees, and I swear the wind feels like
Oh
below
wow.
zero today. So
Yeah, I
plus
think
I would have to shovel a path back there
yeah.
because of the snowdrift. So I was like, yeah, maybe that's just. I have plenty that's already in the house and already at good temperatures that's not going to break.
Yeah. It takes
Oh,
up so much more space. That's the thing, because it is breakable. And when you
yeah.
pack it in totes and stuff to take it somewhere, it takes up lots of space as well.
Well, it takes up a lot less space than trying to spread it out, right?
Well, that's so when we started selling on Facebook full time, like my dining room was the first area that kind of got covered. And then it's moved into my living room. So in my living room, I have an 8-foot table, two dining room tables, two buffets, two 6-foot 4-tier shelves. This big bookcase kind of goes all along the wall and then behind me and more, it's
Mm-hmm.
all covered in glass now. We call it the glass gallery because you can't just like flip through it in a box. It has to be spread out to find it and see it. And it's taken up a large part of my living space currently. But we've done, we're down to just Jeff and I at home. All the kids have gone off to school and work and stuff like that. So there's no kids running around the house anymore, so it's not as big of a problem.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, I'm just typing in the banner. You keep talking. Or did I lose you?
No, I'm here. You're good.
Okay.
I'm just reading the chat too.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, pictures on the walls. Those take up a lot of space.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of art in here.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Somebody
wanted
said they had
to.
a Pyrex pie plate explode in the oven.
Yep.
I mean, and if it was a new
I've
one.
watched it. I've watched some glass just break.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I also am very careful. Add banner. Just wanted to put
That
this.
corral, we have corral, and it's supposed to be that unbreakable, for the kid.
Mm-hmm.
I've dropped that, and it disintegrates into shards of glass everywhere. It flies all over the place.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So I just wanted to put this little note today because I don't want to distract Becky too much. I really value her time with me today. So I want to make sure that people realize that I'm not sometimes on working lives, Becky, I'll just randomly be like, let's sell it now, offer up or whatever.
Julie?
But Julie?
You said Becky.
You.
Oh, okay. I haven't been on a working one. That's why I'm saying.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm saying that normally on my Sunday working live, sometimes we'll sell things.
I got you now.
Yeah. All right.
I'm on it now.
I am going to. Okay, where do I want to start here? First, you need to start, Jan, by not showing your chin.
Oh, happy hoarder. Welcome. Glad you're joining us. So they're new here, checking us out. See what we're doing today.
We're having fun today. All right, let me check.
If I could just dig through houses, I mean, if you didn't have the time constraint, the money constraint of traveling and being different places, I think that is one of the most fun things to do, is just to dig through it all and to look. Because
man.
It's the thrill of just finding something fun and interesting.
Yeah. With me, I wouldn't say that it's a thrill, but it's still an emotional experience to be able to touch things and experience things that brought my mom joy.
Yeah.
But as for digging through somebody else's house, like estate sales and stuff, I'll go straight for the sewing room or the garage. That's what I did before anything else. And it was always getting stuff for me, All right, so let's see where I think I'm going to go over here first.
Doug's like, dang, I was going to buy that chandelier today too.
Yeah, for $350.
Mm-hmm.
What are these?
It looks like a perfume almost. It's just supposed to have looks like it should have a stopper.
DESREGUS Patent Office is all it says, but I have found some things in this shape, and it's got, a mold line on it.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel high quality to me.
Well, that's a lot of glass that there is common and inexpensive glass because they were mass producing it.
Yeah. So there is a local artist that does amazing things with clear, inexpensive glass. Mm-hmm. Is this something that would be better served rather than, types of things like this? Would this be better served as lotting it together and offering it to an artist?
Around here, clear glass doesn't sell. I know people want it to come back and it's beautiful, but if you're trying to sell a lot of it for high dollar, it doesn't, unless it's like elegant and fine cut.
Yeah.
Clear glass doesn't sell. Like if I had that, I'd probably put it out at my booth for say $3 to $5.
Okay.
Especially since we don't have a stopper or a lid for it. And then somebody who actually knows exactly what it is and loves it gets a good deal.
Right. Okay. That makes sense to me.
You have to know, for me, I'm kind of on the lower end of I don't have to get every last penny out of an item.
Yeah. I don't either because, to sell on eBay, you're already giving them a cut, right?
Yes. Well, and then for our booth, we have to pay booth rent. So it's you can't price it at, $20 and nothing sells. So, but if you price it from 5 to 10 or something, then you can move multiple things, and you got to have stuff just enough to cover your rent sometimes too.
Right.
So,
True.
I mean,
True.
it had a great pattern and it's beautiful. And I'm not saying that, that's the thing. There's so many beautiful things that aren't worth high end money. So,
Right. Right. And I'm still willing to sell things like that. I mean,
mhm,
I don't a lot of $3 to $5 things add up to money that will buy me 2x4s,
exactly.
but I still have to question my time,
Yep.
on what it takes because, yeah.
Well, and I'd rather it move than to sit on it for months too. So,
Yeah, some of it, I know it might sound weird, but I like feel Mama Mojo in it, and I
mhm.
need to take the time to appreciate it before I let it go. I know it sounds strange, but
Oh no, I
I
totally
can just
understand
tell.
that.
So,
What does that one
Milk
say?
Bun. It says Service Milk Company Incorporated, Buffalo, New York.
Oh, now see that's local. That's local for you. That should be a considerably higher. I would anything local memorabilia wise. There's usually collectors for, and lots of time. Oh, look at this.
That
That's
was kind
awesome.
of, I was surprised to see that on the bottom.
I mean, yeah. I, for here, local dairy stuff, probably 25, 30, somewhere in there. It's a big bottle too.
Mm-hmm. One
And
quart.
that's probably low end. That's like, I'll keep saying that over and over again. That's
Okay,
probably
please do,
low.
because I'm going to watch this back and I'm going to make epic notes. So then we've got bottles like this. Let me see if I can flip some
Yeah.
light
And
this
see,
way.
and clear, everybody wants colored glass.
Yeah.
So unless it's got something, I mean, lots of times people will fill something like that. That opening's pretty narrow, but like fill it with buttons, fill it with marbles, fill it with,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's how they get rid of their clear glass. Because
Yeah.
again,
So then there's a lot of colored bottles.
mhm.
So is this just like I need to
and
look up all of this stuff?
um,
Phoenix Brewery,
see, and that's a
13
whole nother
ounces.
niche is bottles.
Is
Bottles
it?
is its yep.
Okay.
Like between the people that like do the digs and the privies and then the primitive bottles and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
especially for you, something because I'm in Colorado, I don't know anything of the local stuff and names.
Okay.
So if there's something local, or it used to be a brewery, it used to be a bottling plant, and it's gone under, and they, only made those bottles for so many
Mm-hmm.
years or whatever,
I
that's
think
probably something that you'll have to look into locally.
I
Oh,
think
that
I
looks like,
just
yeah, Royal Hager. There you go.
yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I've been trying to save stuff like this for spring sale.
And
But
that's a beautiful color.
I've learned quite a bit about pottery. I mean, it it's got a little bit of damage, but I've also learned that people that collect this, they love to display it, and if the damage can go to the back,
Oh
they're
yeah.
happy about it, right?
That's the other thing for, especially for glass, ceramics, anything that's breakable, is
Mhm.
that just because it's got a chip or a crack doesn't mean it's worthless.
Right.
It can't bring the high dollar of it being pristine,
Right.
but what it can do is give someone a piece that they've been wanting at a much more reasonable price that they will really enjoy and like for their
Mhm.
collection. And our saying around here is, just put the crack to the back, and it's
Yeah.
a shelf sitter. And once it's up there on that shelf, 5, 6 feet up in the air, across the room, nobody's going to see it's got a crack or a chip.
Yeah. I'm trying to very carefully, um, because there aren't a lot of shelves where I could protect glass.
Well, that's a pretty color.
So
Everybody
this,
loves cobalt. Is it
yeah,
Avon?
it's an Avon one.
No.
So something like this, what would you sell it for? It's still got its cork.
There are people that definitely appreciate Avon for Avon.
Okay.
Um, but I mean, is it about 8 inches tall?
Mm, it's the size of my head, so yes.
Okay. I mean, See, for my booth, I'd probably go somewhere between 12 and 15 because of the color, the size, and the shape.
Okay.
Not
right,
so much because it's Avon,
Yep. Because
but
it's cobalt blue.
yep.
Okay. Let's see. Now, we're just sticking to glass today, right? What is that?
Oh, I don't, whatever.
Do you
I don't
do
know.
this? Do you do stuff like this too?
I see it, but I don't know a whole lot about it.
Okay.
And then if it's singles and it's in good condition, same thing. I'll put it out for
Yeah.
$3-5. If it's a creamer and a sugar, I'll pop it up to 10 or 12 because you have
Yeah.
both pieces.
All right.
So
I am specifically looking for
the
glass
other thing
today.
is different parts of the country definitely have different ranges for their pricing.
Mm-hmm.
So
So that's another Avon one.
oh yeah, I would, especially if
That
it
one's
had perfume in
clear.
it. For me, I'd be like $2. It's out of here.
Yeah.
Ooh, now that's a pretty stopper.
Yeah. Who knows what it goes to? So that's why it's been protected up here for so
But
long.
stoppers are hard to find because they usually tip out and break
Yeah.
because people don't realize they're not attached. So a
Right.
stopper, especially in a color glass, you could probably start asking, 12, 15 and up
Okay.
because somebody's keeping the bottle or the decanter and just waiting for that stopper to show up again. And they'll pay up for it because they have the other piece.
Okay.
Was that orange? Was that?
That's a pumpkin candle. It's a
Oh, okay.
vintage
Look at
pumpkin
him.
candle.
It looked like bittersweet for a second. I'm like, wait, what's that?
Yeah. Nope, that was just something I was just moving out of the way. Oh, this I've got this really congested up here.
Now, Happy Hoarder's saying, well, maybe at the end of the live stream, I can offer on a few things for sale. When will you be having your next sale that these will be included in
So
so that people
I
can just
have
watch?
I have live sales every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. And the sale that I'm getting Becky's help to prepare for
Ooh,
is Saturday, January 29th at 3 p.m. on Thrill of the Thrifts channel. And I don't think she has a reminder out there, but I've got a bunch of Smurfs in the chat that can post links, so they can post her
yes.
channel.
Somebody was suggesting that stopper could be an eBay candidate, which it definitely could
Yeah.
as well. Now, and then, okay. That
So
should be a cranberry dot optic vase. It should be, I would guess, Fenton. The ruffle's a little bit simple for them, but if that would be my first guess.
okay.
Because there
It
shouldn't
look
be Fenton doesn't have a pontil on anything.
so this is indented, but it is smoothed.
Yeah, it's because they would grind the bottom so it'll sit level once it was
Very
cooled.
nice. Good to know. So Fenton won't have a pontil.
No, because they put everything in molds. And the pontil
So
was attached where your hand is now. They're up at the top.
gotcha.
Because they put that down in the mold and then they would release it from the mold and then they would flip out the ruffle on the top. So their pontil would disappear.
That's cool. Now this looks like it's not chipped, but it's got a blemish in the glass.
If it's older Fenton, they often had
Okay.
what they call inclusions. So ash, bubbles, things like that, because they weren't, they were making it in the early 1900s and that
Okay.
stuff was flying around the shop and it would stick in the glass.
So
But
that's a good piece
mhm.
to do an offer up on.
I would say
Okay.
that should be anywhere between 20 to 40, depending on who's
Okay.
wanting it.
Well, some people want it just because they can't find it again, you know?
Cranberry is like the clear for Fenton. Like they made a lot of cranberry.
Okay.
Very prolific color. But that one has really good color. Some of it's kind of what they call dead, where it's just not as bright. Teapot lid.
This is fascinating.
There you have that's the atomizer that went on to that perfume.
I don't know.
It's fabric, so it probably just disintegrated in terms of where it was attached.
Yeah. I mean, if I squeeze it hard enough, it would just crumble.
Yeah. Is there like a little spot where a small tube would come out up there at the top under
Yep.
the?
Right
Yep.
there.
So something, a hose, or, for lack of a
Yep.
better word, would
Yep.
have connected the two. And there's same thing, the vanity perfumes, those have
Mm-hmm.
their own
There's
niche as well.
collectors.
But
Yeah.
that's a pretty one.
Well, that's
And the
good
more
because
the
I'm going to
more
sell
intact
it.
they are, the higher the prices go on those.
All right. I'm going to try to reach over here. It looks like we've got.
And it probably could be repaired. That's very true. And I know
Oh,
there are replacement parts because you can get new atomizer like that squeeze ball, because those were just made of things that time just wasn't kind to,
mm-hmm.
because they were used and just eventually crumbles. Now,
This is peach.
I've
And
had a
this.
couple of those, but I don't know who made it. It's not Fenton
Okay.
because of how big those hobs are.
Yeah.
And they're not consistent. Like if you run your hands over the dots, you can feel that they're not all like the same size.
God, you're good.
Some of them are
Yeah.
pointier than
Yep.
others.
Yep.
I had some in this, and I think it was probably one of the some random West Virginia glass company that did some hobs, because I had a couple swung vases in it.
Okay.
I would say mine were a little bit bigger and one was green. I think I sold mine somewhere in the $18-$20 range. And it's a good color, especially if you
Yeah.
put it coordinate it with something else to brighten it up a little bit too.
Oh, that's a good idea. I have not been doing coordinating things. What the heck is this?
Oh, Christina. Hey, Christina. Christina's asking if Julie Smurf is here.
No, I told Julie to take a day off. Her back hurts.
Yeah, it definitely has a really neat texture. I mean, that's one of the things I really love about glass, is it uses so many. The only sense that glass doesn't use is your taste, basically.
God, look how cute that is.
That's adorable.
That's going to go in someone's assemblage. All right. This one fascinates me.
Well,
What's that about?
Ooh, that's pretty. Now, Candy's asking if we're sure that clear glass isn't making a comeback. I mean, it certainly can be. I know people want it to be. It's just what I'm in Colorado, and it's not currently making a comeback here. However, things on the coast take 2, 3, 5 years to get to us trend wise. So
this feels like crystal.
I was going to say that looks like cut to clear, like flashed on gold, and then they've wheel cut the design in those panels.
Mm-hmm.
And lots of times that's like German, Bavarian. If it's heavier, it is
heavier.
That's a good piece. That's a nice piece.
I think that's pretty. All right. Now that looks like all of I've got more pottery, more figurines, a bunch of Nippon stuff, and I have some very intimidating vases.
Oh, now you're talking. Do you know what that is?
I don't. Teach me.
That Viking Glass, the maker.
Okay.
So, oh wait. Does it have a mark on it or no? I think I'm wrong. That's not Viking, that's Fenton.
Oh, it's got an old sticker.
Yep, that's Fenton. That's a 70s sticker. That's colonial amber, made in the late 60s, early 70s. That pattern starts with a V. It's Valencia. I think it's Valencia or it's not Vulcan. There's two of them that are really close together.
It's very dirty.
It's a swung vase. Those are super popular, especially with the mid-mod crowd right now.
Okay.
It's not thumbprint, but I have a piece.
Yeah, it's definitely not thumbprint. It's got like an arc.
I think it's Valencia, but because they made it in candy dishes, vases, they made it in all sorts of things in those amber, green, blue, orange, red.
Yeah.
In the 70s, early 70s, late 60s.
Okay.
And the swung vases, that should bring, I would say if it were at a show, we'd probably price it at like 45 or 50.
Okay.
But they are a pain in the butt to ship because they're so long.
Babes can ship anything.
Oh, I know. I mean, I understand that, and so can I. It just becomes annoying after a while.
Well, he's the one that gets annoyed, and I don't have to hear about it. So
I'm like, because I don't like shipping baskets anymore. Just because they take so much square footage to get them in there, so you know that they won't get broken. So I'm gonna switch the chat to a Google quick because that's driving me crazy. I can't tell you the name of that.
Okay, I'm gonna try to guess. Is this Indiana glass?
No, close.
Okay,
that's Moon and Stars.
That I know it's Moon and Stars.
And it's more than likely Ellie Smith.
Okay.
And it's highly likely that Fenton poured it.
Oh.
Ellie Smith would go, like they would subcontract different glass factories for their work.
This is a beautiful yellow.
Yeah, that's bright. That's really nice.
This is definitely marigold. Even though the base is thicker, it looks like amber down here.
Yep. Is that close to the same height as the other one? Shorter. Okay.
No, substantially shorter.
Okay. But it should be somewhere in the same ballpark, I would guess.
I would say probably about 12 inches.
Mm-hmm. But it's bigger around at the bulb of the vase.
I know, Brett, but I don't have another collab opportunity with those big channels. I wish I did. You know, that's what I keep this stuff for, because I feel like this stuff is what's gonna bring the money. So this is filthy.
Yeah.
And it
okay, I'm gonna go back to your other one quick. It is called Valencia.
Valencia. Okay.
Yep.
This is all rainbowy, carnival glass.
A carnival finish.
It has a chip in it.
Yeah.
I'm sure it looks totally different after I wash it.
Looks like it's cobalt based color.
Really?
Uh-huh. If you hold it up like end to end in front of the light.
You're right. It's blue.
Yep. Even with the chip, that should bring $20-$30. Those are for me really, really hard to figure out because so many people made them. But Fenton made them. Their turn of the century Victorian companies made them. Early American Press glass companies. And there's a whole niche and books on just those simple vases like
so
that.
the edge looks like it's blue.
Yep.
And then it looks like it's purple.
That's the blue cobalt glass with the iridized finish. And that's what saves that is the blue, because it's a hot sought after color.
Okay.
That's a beautiful piece.
Good. Let's sell it. Not right now, but Mr. Elephant, you've got to move because you're in my way. All right.
Just curious, what's your milk glass piece right there in front of you next to that stopper?
This is.
It's a vase, I think.
Yeah. It's got the Ring of Fire, so it's older. And there's two of them.
Oh, sorry, cut out for a second. Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's got the Ring of Fire, so it's older.
Yeah, there you go. And then those were made a lot of A lot of companies made those, or they reproduced them, or they were made for like florists and stuff too. So some of those are hard to track down.
This one I previously found to be Hazel Atlas, and this one is Holy Cow Ring of Fire.
Is that a grape dish?
It is a grape dish.
Yep. I didn't see it, and they're cool and they're awesome. And I had the whole set because there's like grape, apple, strawberry, and pear. And they came in clear, they came in white. They sat and sat and sat and sat at my booth.
See that one back there? I know that one, Becky. That's sandwich glass.
Very good. I have that exact same cookie jar sitting on my counter over there full of candy.
I am keeping that jar. That's why I didn't even ask you about it.
Yep. I
like that.
I have those in green, in the emerald green. Now, I have the cookie jar in the clear, but I have emerald green pieces.
Yeah, I like the jar. There's a sandwich glass bowl right here, and I'm probably going to keep that too. But, I mean, this is the type of stuff, it's a long way down the road for babes to be doing the kitchen for me. I want display.
Oh, yeah.
I want some display places. This stuff has to have a home, otherwise it's going in my place. Yeah. So it can't just be cluttered around. I don't think I can get these other two down, Becky, so I'm going to have to lift you up.
Oh, that red one up there? That looks like Kanawha just from the sticker. That's a West Virginia glass company. Or is it Rainbow? It's Rainbow. Same difference, practically. That's a good one. That's an Amberina.
Yep.
Handled pitcher. That one should get you some good money, too. And that. Holy cow. What's the bottom of that look like?
I don't know. It's too high up. I can't reach it.
That one should be good too, even though it's milk glass because it's swung.
Yeah.
Is it close to 2 feet or just a little bit shorter than that?
I'm
like looking up, standing on my head.
I know. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's not as tall as it looked, but it's what, 18 inches?
Well, I would say that Amberina one is probably about 14.
Oh, okay. So it is bigger.
Yeah.
The bigger the swung base, the more money it'll bring, period.
Okay.
And because it's white, but it's big.
Yeah.
Some people like to put those with other colors to set them off. So that's panel and grape.
And then I've got a little compo. The top was found so far away from the bottom, it's not even funny.
Yep. There are collectors for the panel and grape.
Okay.
I would say, if anything, that there's more people searching for milk glass because of that whole farmhouse decor look that everyone likes, or the shabby chic look.
Yeah.
And it goes with everything. It complements any color you're trying to put together.
Well, this is a good overview of what I've got tucked in here, not including, pottery and stuff like that. I don't think
your crackle pitcher that's rainbow, you could probably easily between rainbow and Barino cracker pitcher. I can talk. Crackle pitcher. Get some good, much better numbers than what I can tell you, but I would say easily somewhere between 30 to 50.
Nice. All right, hold on. I gotta get up on this thing and I didn't plug that one in apparently. Let's see if I plugged this one.
So you guys have so much more glass.
Yeah.
Well, just East Coast, Ohio, West Virginia, and then East, because
this is definitely crystal.
That's where all the people were. They weren't out here out in the West in the 1900s. Ooh, that's a pretty decanter. Is it okay? Here's a question: is it cut or is it pressed?
So, I would say pressed.
If it feels kind of smooth where each line is,
I would say pressed.
Then it's
definitely
pressed.
Crystal, though.
Yeah, I have no clue who it would be. It's a beautiful piece, and those clear pieces should sell better than like serving quote unquote pieces.
Mm-hmm.
should sell better than like the plain old vases in
Gotcha.
clear.
So I would view this as I would categorize that as a serving piece.
Yeah, I mean, it's because if you think about like a whole table setting,
Yeah.
you're gonna have one gravy, cream, or sugar, and you have 12 plates, cups, bowls. So they didn't make as many of them. The clear stuff, it's beautiful, and it should get some good prices. Is that one heavy?
Oh yeah, this is crystal too.
Is that? And I mean, my husband's aunt collected cut glass. She just loved it because she put it
It
under really bright
sparkles.
lights, and it
Yep.
sparkles, and the prisms. And if it's cut, they sat there by hand on a wheel and cut those pieces. But if it's pressed,
I'd say this one feels cut.
you can almost like literally get cut on your finger because some of them are so sharp sometimes.
Yeah, if I push hard enough, I
Yeah.
feel like I could be cut. I feel like this is cut crystal.
I mean, it's a beautiful piece. And I would probably put something out like that right now, probably between 20 and 30. But they probably used to go 80 to 100.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it feels like a much higher quality piece.
Mm-hmm.
Hobnail ashtrays.
There are some special decanters depending on because they had some ship decanters, which are really big, wide base at the bottom so that they wouldn't tip on the ship. But I don't know. Ashtrays, yeah. People like those are good to for repurposing and different things too, and people using them for.
I was just thinking like a flower thing. What do you know about paperweights?
When they're marked, I can tell you more about them. There is a large influx of Asian imports that in the 80s and 90s mimicked anything that was high-end art glass.
Okay.
There's
this one's definitely not marked.
Yeah, Glass Eye Studio is an American company, and then there's like a something Cloud, and they always mark theirs. Glass Eye etched theirs, and then obviously the Mille Fiori stuff from Italy, from Murano. But those aren't always marked either. But if you see a lot of them together, chances are the majority of them are reproductions or mimics. Because you just don't usually see a whole lot of, say, Murano in one place. That's cutie.
I don't know. I don't see any markings on it, but I could look at it.
It's like a little pewter candlestick, like a candlestick they used and made a vase. Put a vase in it.
Maybe. It's all etched.
Oh, now I can see that. That's kind of the colonial look. Hi, Steph. She said, OMG, Jan
She's got
and
a couple.
Becky. Oh. Okay, those are made by several companies.
And they're etched with that pontil on them.
There's a couple different companies. Here, I'm going to get a book out. See if we can figure this one out.
Okay. It's got etching on it. There you go. You can see it there. I don't know if that one's silver. I got
one book that's called, it's about stretch glass, which is the type of finish they put on stuff. But what they did is that they did a whole bunch of outlines of who made what, like the nuances of the shapes, because so many companies made them. Okay, so if you look at the lip of the lid, is it flat? Like, is it like a 90-degree angle straight down into the glass?
Yes.
Okay. And then The lid lip is straight and indented. There's how many? Do you know how many mold seams it has on it?
Mm,
Oh, that's is it?
I see two seams, one seam there on the bottom and one directly across it, just
The
for the
question is
bottom.
right. Is it neck? Is it like right on the panel design? Like, does it line up with?
There's no mold seams. No, it does not line up with the panel design.
Okay,
There's
and
no
then
seams in this part.
yeah, I'm like at the foot is what I'm wondering about.
One
On
line
the
opposite the other. And
well, it's
it goes
and it's smooth
up
right
here.
there. Yeah. Traditionally, it's either Northwood or Fenton, but
Okay.
there's so many different nuances. Like they would change, like if something was super popular,
There's
they
actually
would change one little itty bitty thing, and then it wasn't a copyright.
this actually feels like it's like scratched into the glass there.
That
It's
could
kind of
be what they call a straw mark, where the glass kind of folded a little bit when it got pushed into the mold. That one should be
Oh,
a
okay.
decent piece for you though, because like with you have like having stored marbles in it, you're able to show off something else in the
Mm-hmm.
clear glass, and it's a big
Yeah.
tall one. So
This set of I have to eventually list that. That's a great set, and it was my
it,
mom's wedding set, so there's a lot of pieces to it.
who
That
made that
weddings.
one?
All right, and this one, this the China set.
Mm-hmm. I yeah, it's
Lennox
oh, okay.
Lennox Fresh Meadow.
That sounds newer-ish.
So here's another one that's got a different top. It's got only one mold line. Wait.
Yeah,
You
that
can
one's a
see.
different foot. So,
Yeah, it's a totally different foot.
and they call it
And
one's a half pounder and one's a 1 pounder is basically what they've done with that size wise. So there's
and the etching stuff is too, but it's similar.
yep.
And then the top has the 90-degree go in.
And since if they don't have any big chips or cracks or anything, those should get you some decent money just because people like to display their collections like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done pretty well with even clear glass as long as they're like lidded things.
Mm-hmm. Because it
Don't
makes
know.
people's collections go vertical. That is perfume. It should be painted.
It is.
That's beautiful.
That's
Um,
clear. It's clear up the middle.
yep. A lot of times some of the companies early on they would get their glass, they'd get their glass from whoever made the glass and then they would decorate it. So either etch it or paint it or put flowers on it or gild it or whatever, and then they'd market it as
Mm-hmm.
their piece like that. This stuff is probably closer to the 20s, 30s, and especially since
Okay.
you have a intact stopper, that
Mm-hmm.
perfume alone is probably $40 to $50.
Okay, good.
But it's like a dresser set. It would have had a tray, two perfumes, a powder jar, like
Right.
coordinating pieces like that.
I don't see any glass over there.
My mom would love that one. That's her color. She loves those yellows.
Oh yeah.
Yep. She
Um,
doesn't like
I
perfumes, but she loves that color.
I like the fact that as I'm touching these things, I am able to predetermine what your reaction's going to be, kind of. So It's only because you are able to expose yourself to so much in one place.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you get to touch it, you get to feel the difference.
And everything, yeah, you can feel the weight of the glass or how thin it is.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. What do you
But I
have
mean,
in your
that's
hand?
I have a Christmas
Oh,
crab,
the egg. The egg.
and
Okay.
yeah, I'm bringing the egg over for put it on my shelf for sale thing, and the Christmas crab goes with the Christmas crab. All right, I have some more glass over here, and like this, that's got a chip in it.
That's the bottom of a dish. It's supposed to have a lid.
Yep, I'm
Does it
sure the
have
lid will appear.
seashells? Does it have like seashells design on it?
Yes. What does that
Okay,
mean?
that should be some pattern called Argonaut for whatever reason. And I think it's Westmoreland
Okay.
or an early American pressed glass pattern before Westmoreland did it. But yes, that's called Argonaut. And
Okay.
it's missing its lid, which is basically like a cone shape with a knob on top.
Okay. Well, I've got lids stashed everywhere.
And they made it in all the colors. Oh, go down the shelf, quick. That white red, or is it looks like a white planter?
This?
Uh-huh.
What is it?
That should be Acro.
What does that mean?
That's the name of a company. Acro Agate or
Okay.
Acro is what their ACRO, I think is
Okay.
what their name is spelled. Another West Virginia glass company. They're known for their agate, quote unquote, their slag glass.
Okay.
Does it have a little bit of another color swirled in with it, or is it mostly white?
Um.
It's coming off white to me.
Yeah. It just looks white,
So
and
people who
it's
collect acro would love it, and it's probably, I would say, between $15 to $25 piece.
okay. Odd. I wouldn't have imagined that.
Yep, because it's a company that's out of business. We went to a little acro museum a couple summers back.
Mm-hmm.
That I know, and it's something, but I don't know what it is because I don't know enough about that stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
that
It
should be
looks.
like one of the mid-mod companies that made all the glasses in all the different shapes and for
It's
wines and
so
waters
thick
and
for a glass.
yeah, the piece under that pot is Fenton.
Yes. Yeah. That I knew. We actually. Guess where I found that?
I have no clue.
This was in the dishwasher that hasn't been opened since I was a kid.
Oh, funny. That
We
should be a
found
bonbon.
that's what it's called, a
Yep,
bonbon.
that's the shape. So it's a blue opalescent hobnail bonbon with a triple crimp.
Holy crap! I'm impressed.
But that's like a common piece. And they
Mm-hmm.
usually probably 10 to $15 depending because they made so many of them. It's pretty, but don't know what that one is. That one looks like it's lightweight or thinner.
Yeah, it feels
So
thin.
maybe that could be a modern like margarita even.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Of course, there's lots of clear glass. This is like a tiny little cake stand kind of
Yep.
thing.
It looks like a cake plate. That one you
Um,
just moved is probably either a lemon tray or a nappy would kind of be what they describe that as.
it says hand painted Nippon, so it's super
Yep.
old.
That looks like similar to the crackly stuff. It's got a good pontil on it, but it's got a pattern in it, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a good question then. That's probably a little bit newer and newer, I mean 70s, 80s.
Right. It's
Because
got big bubble
they
there
didn't,
too.
yeah, they didn't press the patterns in them in the older pieces as much in that style of glass.
How about these guys? I got lots of these.
Yeah. Oh, are they vase?
They're
No, they're
that's
cups.
glassware.
They're cups.
Yep, and
That's
there's
probably something that was newer, made to go with like the Wedgwood, or not Wedgwood, with the blue and white stuff.
courier knives.
Yes, like the blue and white china. Oh, those are nice. Those are good.
There's 4 of them.
Yeah, those are good.
Okay.
They're a mid-mod something,
So
and
do an offer up on those.
yeah, I mean, I could probably ask my friend, and she could probably chase them down. I could describe them to her what they are. For 3 things. Color is really great on those. You have a set of 4, and oh, what was the third thing? And the time period those were made, because the pattern that they are, those should be good.
Okay.
They almost look purple at the bottom because it's so thick.
Yeah, I'm
With that
trying
light,
to.
those are
It's
nice.
definitely.
Yeah, those are beautiful, Ruby. They're mid-mod, kind of 50s, 60s, I think, somewhere in there.
Oh, Kim Murphy says Libby highball glasses.
They're good.
Okay.
Because usually you'll only see one.
Oh, okay.
So, and if you have 2, your price almost like doubles per glass. And with 4, it should be even better.
I feel like this is. Okay, Jan. Put Becky back in your holder. There we go. I feel like this is a base to a fairy light. Wow, that's a Jan-proof bag right there. But I don't know. But it's got steps
Oh,
on the inside.
it could be like an insert to a candlestick. Is there enough of an end on that to set into a candlestick? Yeah, like,
Thin.
and you put the stick below it.
I mean, you could put a stick in there, but
But it wouldn't stand up, would it?
this looks like the bottom to me.
Oh, yeah. My
It
daughter
does.
just messaged me. She's trying out for a sports team today. It's so exciting.
I don't know. I don't know what this thing is.
I don't know what that is either, because they made all sorts of things that if you get a book of like the old china patterns or the old glass patterns, they made pieces that people are like, well, why would you even need that? Because it's so obsolete in our lives now.
Mm-hmm. I do have depression glass books. I've got a couple of
Because you
different
could pick
things.
any one of them and just look at the list of the sizes of the pieces that they made.
Oh, that's a good tip.
And there's like, a dinner plate, a salad plate, a bread and butter plate, an oyster plate, the cup, the saucer, and in the stemware or the glassware, you have up to 5 different shapes and sizes of glasses that would coordinate with this fancy china and dishes as well. So I'm not quite sure what that is either, Jan.
Okay.
I'm going to holler at my husband quick so he can answer my daughter. I'll be right back.
Okay. This one's a pretty green. I like that one. That's what I was thinking, Marilyn. I thought maybe it was an insert for a fairy lamp or something. I don't know. I'll have to ask her about that one. That one. What do you think of that one?
Oh my goodness, my chair rolled away when I sat down in it. Some people will call it a vase. Some people will call it a candle holder. And you never know what the company called it to begin with.
Huh. Well, that's not
Because
confusing at all.
I know, because a taper could go all the way down in that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who that is.
Let's see what else is down here.
Got a nice optic to it, though.
This is the top to the
Oh,
to the fairy lamp. You know, somebody I just got one of those in the mail.
that mustard jar right there.
Yeah, the ketchup.
Oh, ketchup. Sorry.
I don't have the top.
Oh man.
Yeah,
You know what that is, right?
I learned since, you know, before I was just like, oh, I wonder if I'll ever find the top, and then I found out that it was like a huge deal because
Oh yeah.
I saw that the crazy lamp lady had found one.
Mm-hmm.
Holt Howard.
Yep. Holt Howard's got a cult following.
Yep. But I have not found it. It almost looks like a lollipop face. I have not found that.
And they had the spoon that dipped below it, so and you'd knock it on the side and they would break easily.
Yeah. So I'm still hunting that.
Somebody wanted to know if that bowl, candlestick, whatever vase one, was it green or amber?
Which one? This?
The one we thought you could maybe put like a candlestick in. I think you left
green.
it. It's green. Okay. They just wondered what color it was. It was hard to...
Oh, you mean the thing that we're still trying to figure out what it was? It's clear. Yeah. It's clear.
No. The bowl that like opened up at the top and like had a narrow space and then had an open foot. On the other, yeah.
That's the green one.
That's green. Okay.
That's green.
Yeah, there you go. Green. Sorry, made you go back to a different shelf.
That's all right. I get a lot of steps in here. All right.
So did your mom have all these shelves in there, or have you brought these in?
None of these shelves existed.
Okay.
Not a single one. Everything was just piled like a mountain.
That sounds familiar.
Of these. Yeah. I got a
all right, I didn't mean to sidetrack you for what you're going to.
No, you're not. I wasn't. I was already squirreling, trying to figure out where to go next. This thing I can't find anywhere.
Is it pottery?
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a home piece or a hobby piece. No,
and it's all like, look at the colors.
Yeah, it totally got that oil slick carnival kind of finish.
I can't find this anywhere. So, still working on that.
Pottery, again, is a subsection of all into itself.
I know. Let's see. There's no glass pieces over there.
Now, I know a little bit about Red Wing pottery because that all came out of right near where my grandparents were.
Oh. Canister. I'm sure I'll be able to Google Lens that. This, I think, is something special.
What pattern is that?
I don't know.
Oh, wow. Pattern. Okay. That'd be a good clear piece. Somebody would like that too.
Yes.
It's very utilitarian.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good size. That's a nice piece. That's King's Crown.
That's what that's called?
Yep. That's the pattern. Ruby flashed, King's Crown. Again, they came in all sorts of millions of sizes for the stemware.
Okay. Got some little vases back there. A green one, a blue one. Oh. Over in this corner, which I have, this is where I've been putting all my glowy glass.
Oh, yeah. I see some up on the top shelf from here.
Yeah. I don't know where my black light is right now, but pretty much everything on the first two shelves is glowy stuff. Mm-hmm. But I'm not digging into not digging into that pile today.
Come on, Jan.
No way, man.
Yes, that King's Crown was an early American press glass EAPG pattern and was reproduced later on by somebody else, but that I don't know. But I know it's King's Crown, so you should be able to Google that easily.
Okay. I don't, that's all pottery up there. I have started finding some of these.
Oh, that's Wexford, I think. But that one's got like a platinum rim on it.
Yeah, some of it is scratched.
I think if you Wexford is the pattern. I think it's a 70s pattern, so it's a relatively it's not considered antique or depression,
Okay.
but it was a newer made pattern to look like some of the old EAPG stuff, and it was much more
Gotcha.
affordable when it came out.
Hoping to find a lid to that. I think that's really cool.
So, you know there's two different companies that made that pattern.
So that optic block,
Huh?
whatever
Yep.
pattern, I find it to be very confusing. Hold on
It
a
is very
second.
confusing.
And I'm hitting the wrong button again. Hold on. Settings, camera.
Because there's two
Um,
companies that made it.
so for
Fostoria,
Fostoria,
and they
I
call
have,
it American.
and I've looked some of those up, and those prices are wow. You know,
And
they're like,
here in Colorado, clear, nobody cares.
yep,
In the South, a friend of mine in Alabama he's like, you bring me your Fostoria American, I can sell it down here. They like it down
yeah,
there.
yeah. So it seems like eBay is the place for that,
Hmm.
unless, because I'll try to bring stuff to live sales first, unless it's like, you
Yeah.
know, two hundred
And
dollar
then
pieces or
the
something
other
like that.
company is Whitehall, that they mimicked Fostoria Americans. And
Hmm.
I think they called it the same thing, but on the bottom, like where that starburst is,
Yeah.
you sit and count how many points are on that. Like that's one of the discerning features that tell you between American or Fostoria and Whitehall.
Okay. I'd have to sit down and I would need a post-it
Yeah,
to
it's like you
put
have to.
where I started. Otherwise, I would just keep going round and round and round.
Yeah, we have a lady here locally who collects that, and she did a program, quote unquote, at our Depression Glass Club on.
Yeah.
She like brought one of every piece that she owned in Fostoria American, which filled up an 8-foot, 6-foot tables, and
Wow.
then brought in Whitehall to show the difference. Because if you look at them, the Whitehall isn't as quality a glass. You can't
Mm-hmm.
see through it as much. Um, Fostoria
Interesting.
looks much more like water, like it's just so much more clear. And there
Hmm.
were a couple other nuances too, but they're very hard to discern between the two.
Yeah, that I found some that looked like it before. I sold a really beautiful dish, a covered dish that had it in one of my live sales. And, of course, somebody afterwards said, pretty sure that was Fostoria, and I'm pretty sure that you pretty much just gave it away. And I was like, well,
Um,
I
I
can't
mean,
I can't be scared anymore, I
I mean,
gotta.
again, you can't always get top dollar for everything,
I know.
but
I just want to spill my
I mean, you
coffee
could
here.
have an entire table full of that here in Colorado, and unless somebody knew what it was and cherry picked the really good pieces or the rare
Yeah.
pieces, all the rest of it would just sit there.
Hmm. Well, I guess it's good that we've got the exposure on our channel for all different areas, right?
Hmm.
So then
Yeah.
people that are looking for it.
Yeah, because I picked up one at, I don't remember if it was, I think it was a square cake plate. I picked it up for $2.99, $3.99 at a thrift here. And when we were in Alabama last year, I left it with my friend, and by March, April, he sold it for over $100. So I'm
Wow.
like, all right. I'm like, take your cut. I'm good with
Yeah.
that.
I hope that my mom is looking down and seeing what I'm getting for some of the stuff that she thrifted, because I feel like that would make her happy, because some of
Yeah,
this stuff,
because she
uh,
knew there was value in it. She saw that it was interesting and valuable and unique. So yeah, it's
yeah,
very much collectors like get each other. They understand
Yes.
why they appreciate things. They might not all like the same thing, but if you're a collector, you understand why people appreciate things.
And I think that's one of the reasons that this whole YouTube live sale thing has become a way that people enjoy shopping,
Mm-hmm.
because they get that look what I have and look what I got, and that type of thing.
Yep.
What about that, Miss Becky?
That is not Fenton. It's a perfume jar or a dresser set piece, and
Okay.
I can't tell you who made it off the top of my head, but there's tons and tons of them out there.
Okay.
Everybody thinks that they're Fenton, and they usually have a round stopper.
Okay. I have found piles of stoppers.
It's almost like a marble
Okay.
for that one. And it's usually in the opalescent kind of look to it. The more white part of that
Yeah.
glass.
Yeah, it's like clear with the white in it.
Hmm.
Hi, Susan. All right, we're going into the bowels of the basement now.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
I know, I can't.
You let me know when you get tired, Miss Becky. Don't let me keep you
All I'm doing
hostage.
here is sitting and talking. It's not that bad.
Okay.
It's a little chilly, but we're good.
Oh, I need to turn this around again. Do you want to get something warmer on?
No, it's just because I'm not moving and I'm drinking something cold. I could plug in my heater.
Okay.
I'll have to go around to the other side, make sure there's no bubble wrap in between me and the heater.
Yes. She took a fall this morning. Trying to see. I think I've cleared a lot of the glass out of here. Oh, I've got one of these little canoes. I found a huge canoe with this pattern, and it's uranium glass.
Oh
I
yeah,
like
that's a
that one.
Daisy and Button.
Daisy and Button, and I was just telling them that I found a huge one of these that is yellow, and it's uranium glass and it glows. It's in that.
Lots of companies made those because those are those early American press patterns too.
What's the point of the whole canoe? Why a glass canoe?
I don't know.
Huh.
I think
See?
it's one of those Victorian things, or maybe it was a fixation on the West and stuff. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know
I find
because they're
stuff.
in every single color. They're like a souvenir thing too, because they'd make them in those in the clear with the ruby flash or whatever, and write the names on the sides of like for the tourist attraction or whatever too.
Mm-hmm.
Do
This
you know
one
what
has a
that
hole
is?
right through it. It's a part of a lamp?
It's it could be a part of a bulb of a lamp, but more than likely it's a lightning rod ball.
Okay, come again? Wait, what?
Okay, so on top of barns or houses, before we got everything grounded, they would put the lightning rods up there. And I don't know what the purpose of putting the balls on them, but it was to diffuse, the lightning from hitting the building and keeping it from burning, setting it on fire.
No way. Huh.
So there's a bunch of people who love collecting lightning rod balls.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
It's very more of a rustic farm end of antiques.
I have really
They made them in all colors and shapes.
taken up all kinds of shelf space back here.
It's pretty.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I could sell it with the
I
margarita
would
glass.
say that's something newer. And now you're buffering.
I'm buffering?
All buffering.
How about now?
Oh, now you're back.
Okay. I've got a lot of like religious pieces and stuff I need to like deal with.
Another subculture of collectibles.
Yes. What is this?
Oh, hi, Annie Christie.
Gentle now, gentle now.
Ooh,
Okay.
that's pretty.
What's the point?
Oh,
What is the
oh,
point?
you heard of an epern?
Come on. This is part of an epern?
That's a horn of an epern. Yep. So if you find any bowls with that look like they have multiple candle holder spots in them, that's an epern bowl for the epern horns to go in, and that's an epern horn.
Okay. I wondered what that was about.
And they could be
I
anywhere
did
from,
see you sell one the other day. That's the only reason that
yep,
I remember it right off the top of my head.
they make single eperns up to like 5, 7 horns all at once.
Let's see. We've got canisters
Yep.
back here.
Oh, you think I was buffering? Okay. No worries. As long as I can hear you, we're good.
Anything else back here, I think, is a little too.
It's a little dark. I'm not.
Yeah, there's no
seeing
light
it,
over
so.
here. That's why I'm pulling it out. All right, we're going to go down, 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 down.
So was this a farmhouse too, or?
It wasn't a farm, but I mean, they had goats and chickens originally. The house was built in 1880. And my grandmother was a child in this house. My grandmother was raised in this house and went to school from this house.
So Lou said they're thinking that the glass balls on the lightning rod was like when it broke, if it got hit by a strike, that maybe that was like a warning that you've been hit, like they busted. That's entirely possible. I'm not sure how they work. I just know that everybody around me always collected them, so I didn't question it. I just knew what they were. You know, then you're like, huh, I probably should look into that and figure it out.
Mm-hmm. So I found some sandwich glass little like ice cream dishes.
They could be sherbets, yeah.
Yeah. And then there's also, I mean, there's a lot of clear glass here.
Yep. Yeah.
Huge amber ashtray.
That might not be an ashtray. Let's see. It has indents on it? But if you turn it over the other way, does it look like it would fit a punch bowl? Like within, does it have a rim?
Oh, yes.
I think it might be a punch bowl base.
Interesting.
There is something too that I learned recently with ashtrays versus cigar trays. If your thumb fits in the spot, it was made for cigars.
Thumb definitely fits.
So, but I'm thinking that looks.
I did not consider that.
If it's got a rim, like a bowl wouldn't slide off of that surface.
and this is all textured on the bottom.
Yeah. So, and cigar trays should be higher prices than cigarette ashtrays.
Okay. Well, if I find a great big amber punch bowl, I probably won't sell it.
There you go.
All right. What else we got down here? We got more. We got cake plates. I don't know what this thing is. Blue? It's only one of them.
Oh, hold that up again. I mean, I don't know who's freezing, but is it flat on one side?
Yeah, I want to say I saw another set of these, and they were purple, and I broke them. I was almost thinking that they were bookends.
I have no idea. Because the optic on it is really nice. It looks like good glass.
But yeah, I thought maybe that they were bookends. I had never... I didn't understand it in the beginning, but like I said, I broke one, so I think there's a purple one. Maybe I'll mix and match them. That's a good idea.
Yeah, you could.
There's a purple one up there. Let's see. We got more, this thing. That's one of those fan ones.
Oh yeah, is it got little balls all along the edge of it?
Does.
That's candlewick. Candlewick is the name of the pattern on it. Again, another clear pattern, but
This one's got a hole in it.
that's
I don't
like
know if-
sandwich, but it's not. It's like it's the same era, but it's not sandwich. And that drill is probably for a tidbit, like a handle that you'd screw on a handle, like for inside the bowl, so you could pick it up.
Unless somebody was doing art stuff.
Well, that's how half of those tidbit things came about.
Was from those little tray things?
Somebody took one and drilled it and put a handle on it. Yep.
There's that one.
There's a nice blue decanter back there.
Yep. There's a couple of pretty decanters back there. Those are the types of things that I have to get to, and I don't want to touch them and move them when there's no place to take them.
Yeah.
You know,
that's the whole kind of rearranging I had to do yesterday. You got to move 6 things out of the way, rearrange the piles. It's frustrating sometimes. I get it.
This is a beautiful lusterware set.
That's pretty.
That I keep finding pieces to. Hey! Do you see what we just found?
Excuse me.
Hold on. Stop.
What do we? Oh, there you go.
Right?
Yep. But I think that's Wexford.
Okay.
Like the top to a cookie jar or a candy jar or something.
Or this bowl that was in here that I just said I hope I would find. Damn. They look different.
Yep. That's one's Wexford and one's American.
It's a nice little marriage right there.
It's not a bad marriage.
That is not a bad marriage. Okay. Squirrel.
My grandma, they used to call her the lid lady because no matter where she went, if she found a lid, she'd just buy it and save it.
Yep.
And she'd have boxes of lids just waiting to find the other half of the dish.
Here's the purple one.
Oh, that would be actually a pretty fun set.
I'm pretty sure that because I definitely broke the purple one.
Okay.
So let me put these little guys together. I hate the stairs, Becky.
Oh, I'm hearing something. I know what it is. Never mind. Sorry. Do you have Franciscan plates? Somebody's asking. I'm assuming they saw like an apple design, apple blossom, or...
These are apple blossoms, aren't they, on that lusterware?
Yeah, but that's not... Franciscan's a maker, and those are Japan. The luster stuff is amazing, especially in all the different colors it came in. That's a pretty one. That could be a butter dish lid. Because they made them a really big dome shape.
She's got them everywhere.
I'm like pointing at my screen. Like, what is that? Is that the same shape as the bottle you showed me originally? To one over from the orange, the opposite of the orange, other side. That. Or is that just a sherbet upside down?
It's a sherbet upside down.
Oh, okay.
And it should go over here. Nope, that's a different pattern. This one is definitely a sandwich glass.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's more than one pattern in here.
You have a couple patterns in your pot there.
I see that. Yeah, there's a couple of this one.
You know, that's a big trend too for like weddings and parties, is they'll mix and match like they'll take a color scheme or all clear in all different patterns, or they'll do, you know, pink, yellow, white, and mix and match everybody's table settings, even if it doesn't match, but to coordinate.
I've gotta get to the point where I'm opening more shelves to display glass. Oh
Yeah.
look, more puzzles.
It just takes up so much space.
It does. I don't want to lose these. There's some pieces on top. Okay, stay right there. And then some candlesticks. And then there's little boats. And I don't know what these are.
Does it have, oh, that's a toothpick.
Okay, so there's two of them.
Yep.
One is got less color than the other. There's
it looks like flash, but it's hard to tell, like some of the colors coming off.
Yeah. Everything is hard here. I've found this bowl in a million different colors.
Buffering again for me, but
I have this one in amber too.
Yeah. That's 70s stuff, but I don't know who made it.
That bowl down there is etched and Star of David and is probably crystal and probably goes with those pieces. Ooh, I've been looking for this. There's the top to that big
nice
tureen.
Yep. So I just Googled flat-sided vase, and there's pictures of them. So, yeah, it's got a diamond optic. I think I'll look at this one and see if it brings me anything up, because it looks just like it.
They're kind of cool.
You know, lots of people selling stuff on all these platforms, they don't know what it is either, so they just describe it as well as they can. This one says, blue flat-sided vase with faceted diamond pattern, vintage 1960s glass, decorative flower holder, sits flush against the wall. So they don't know what it is.
Okay.
It's on Etsy for $15.
Well, they described it really good.
Right?
I would
so
rather,
somewhere out there might be some more information if they, you know, it's a pretty recognizable shape. Oh, those are pretty.
I have a lot of this in cups and some salt and peppers and some bowls. This I feel like should be up in that cabinet with its mates.
China doesn't really float my boat. I don't know why.
A lot of this stuff doesn't float my boat. Oh, there's a significant crack through this. This thing is done.
You know what my mom does with her broken glass?
I'm going to give it to that artist.
Mm-hmm. My mom puts it out in her garden.
Yeah, that's what my mom was doing. Yep. I can't tell you how many pieces of glass I pulled out of the gardens when I started clearing them.
Yeah, but mostly for hers, it was either broken or cracked to begin with. So she just likes, you know, she was like, and she enjoyed looking at it with the sunshine and those pretty colors.
Yep. And that's what this local artist does with a lot of things. There's a green vase. What's this down here? We got a couple of thumbprint.
Now somebody else is calling them bookend vases, so I don't know if that means they were meant to.
I feel like there were bookends.
So, and they've got a pair of blue ones listed for $45. So, if you have a pair, and I think that's kind of fun that they're two different colors, you could probably do 30 to 40 easily on a pair.
That's what I'm thinking.
That is that Indiana?
I don't know. It's got that. It's got the
missing
bumpies.
It's a English hobnail.
Okay.
It's from the 70s. They made it in lots of colors, and it usually has a lid with a pointed finial on it.
Great.
I have it in black right up there, but in a different shape.
Some
It's
plates.
around here. The white and clear ones are
Yeah.
pretty common.
There's a
10,
bunch
15,
of lids that are in
18 bucks
there.
a piece.
Well, that's good.
That amber's pretty. Is that a painted
Yeah, that's
covered dish?
just the lid.
Oh, that's nice though.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably 20s, 30s, somewhere in there again.
I gotta find. That's why I want to get so much stuff moved. Like this whole area right here, the way that
Mm-hmm.
everything's piled up, that's how
Yeah.
the whole house was to the ceiling.
Yeah.
No shelves. So this is a perfect area to set up more shelves. I just have to concentrate some effort on the things that are here and set up shelves so I can set up more glassware. But that's what we're building the barn for. All right, we got some
It's
blue.
like OCD. I mean, not OCD. It's like every time you look somewhere, you're looking somewhere else to check and see what else there is.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I can. It's just visual noise for me now. I can focus.
Oh, that's a pretty shade there.
Isn't that pretty? The lamp is there too. It's behind it. See?
Oh, that's potentially a super good one.
Yeah. There are
You have
some
the
amazing.
ring.
I don't have the ring yet. I feel like rings are in a different place. There's a lot of lamp parts.
Because usually if it's you usually don't find both pieces.
Yeah, and like the lamp base was down here, and the top was in a box in the storage unit 50 miles away. I think she thinks this is funny. The whole
It's like a giant treasure hunt. But she probably had some, what's that called? Let's say not no rhyme or reason, but she had a system.
I think at one point she had a system. This is.
I think that lamp is probably
Light,
turn of the
light
century. I don't think
shades
it's
whatnot.
Fenton, even though people would say that because of its cranberry and opalescent swirl. I think it's older than that. But it could be because it's right in there. It's like they're new, like they're beginning stuff. So
I wouldn't be surprised if Half Pint saw that lamp and wanted it for a room or something. We'll see. More lampshades.
I'll go buy you a brand new lamp. That lamp's probably more on the ends of $300 to $500.
Yeah. So many things to sell, Becky.
Oh, what's that?
I don't know. Probably some kind of lampshade.
Oh yeah, that's cool. You got a lot of lamps in this section.
Oh yeah, these are all the same. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 of these.
Those should probably go on eBay as mid-mod shades 5 matching they should go high.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's a lot of like wow lamps, and I don't know if I can get them all to put together in my lifetime and get the most that I can, but I would really like to.
Yeah, but whoever's looking for those isn't probably going to find us on YouTube.
Yeah.
Can you take some of those ones that are hanging that are already all together to that store you go to?
So they already have a huge inventory of lamps, and she likes to keep things spaced so that they're still appealing.
Yeah.
And she gets lamps in all the time, but that's a local thing. I feel like eventually I will get to a point where I've got a way to beautifully photograph these things, and I have to take the time to do it.
I feel like that amber one could have been in the house that I just was at an estate sale at a week ago.
That'll probably end up at our house because
it had all wrought iron, everything in it.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll probably end up at our house.
Right, Tanya? I mean, 5 matching shades, that's huge.
6. There's 6. 6 total.
Yeah.
Of the red.
Those need to be marketed to as big of an audience as you can get when you do that one.
Right. Like here's some of the ring things, and I gotta get them with the lamps. This is some clear glass. This is some plates.
I was at an antique shop once, and they said that they bought 2 semi-tractor trailers full of lamp parts in like the 90s, and they were still selling from it.
I bet.
And they had so much.
I bet. I have a lot of this articulated milk glass.
That's a common pattern, and it's an open lace something.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about this guy. I gotta
Oh,
get
he's
him.
cute.
Isn't he cute? A little kitty cat on top. And then there's a whole other beautiful set. All this stuff's just gotta get, cleaned up. And there's another picture back there with a pattern. Here's more of those.
Yeah. Those would sell well as a set because people like to have lots of them for serving, but
Yeah, she would have never parted with a tractor trailer all at once. She saw everything individually.
yeah.
She never saw anything as a lot of anything.
Those are cool. Those shades
These?
are cool. Yep.
Yeah.
Or flame something. A couple companies made those. Or are they flames or are they roses?
They look like flames.
Okay.
I thought there was more glass down here than I'm finding.
A lot of lamp.
Empty shelves. Yeah, this is mostly the lamp department.
Yeah. A lot of glass in the lamp department.
Yep. But I had started unpacking some boxes. I was so tempted to go out to the truck because I have a lot of boxes that I've unpacked. But it's just too cold and it's just too risky. Oh, look at there's one of those.
Yeah, I mean, it's not
I know.
like it's all going to explode or anything. It's just the best.
Nope.
It's a good practice to not
Yes.
to do, so.
Well, especially assuming, so all of the booth boxes were packed at once. So finding pieces, parts to things in multiple boxes doesn't surprise me.
No, because when you're packing from a show or from a booth, you pack it as full as you can get it and how it fits in the box, not what's always the same pieces.
Yeah.
That's a cute little picnic basket there. Is that metal? Up to your...
This is metal.
Right. Yeah, that's cute.
And there's holes poked in it.
Oh, that's it. So I don't know, so it can breathe like your pie or whatever, so it didn't get all
Maybe.
moisture in there.
Or if somebody turned it into a bait box.
Yeah, that's entirely possible.
Oh.
The nice shade, that fiber shade is nice.
Fiberglass shade, yep.
Yeah.
I think I've opened all of these. I haven't been in that corner back there. And I haven't really gotten close enough to that shelf yet. That's another area to work on at some point.
Brett says, no mushy pies.
No. This is no longer Christmas. This used to be a Christmas room. And all of the Christmas has been removed from here except for that old thing. So it's in here is mostly canning jars and specifically enamelware stuff I've been putting in here. But there's definitely room to be sorting. There's a booth box down there that has not been unpacked.
Candy's loving that Tonka truck.
Oh, there's a lot of Tonka trucks. A lot. Did you see them all piled there?
Oh, yeah.
There's tons of them. And there's 2 other piles down here that size. Well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to really. I gotta dig a new path to find more stuff. But this is you've given me quite a bit to go on,
Well, it's so
and
much fun to look at it all.
yeah, it is now. It's fun with company. It's
Oh
fun.
yeah,
It's
I can
fun with my
totally understand
channel.
where it makes it so much easier.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun with my channel. It's fun now. It wasn't always. I think there's more glass back there. There's some kind of bowl right
Yeah.
there.
Wow. How many booths did she have going at once?
At one point she had three, and then she wasn't rotating the stuff, so she eventually um, they took really good care of her for a really long time, but eventually she just wasn't even making booth rent, and
Yeah.
she had to go, so they packed up her stuff. Now behind there, I don't know if you can see the header
Yeah.
beam there. There's a door there and another room.
Oh wow.
So there's a 10 by 10 room that way, which is under the back porch, and I didn't even know that that was there. I see a glass painted thing right there with the thing in the middle. Sometimes if I'm just playing I Spy for a particular or a specific
I mean, it
thing.
doesn't look like you can get to it, but there's something green
Oh,
on the
I could.
shelf back there. Is that pottery or?
That turquoise thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I can get to it. There are pads.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we've picked this up and looked at it before. This is like something cool. I forget what it said. Ganga something.
Yep. You should be able to Google that one.
Yep.
That's a nice colorway with the pink.
This is pretty. It looks like a lot of the painted stuff has come off.
Hi, Tanya. Oh, that's
Hi,
neat. See, that's what
Tanya.
I was talking about. A handle like that on that other one that was drilled.
Yep. And then it would be like cruets, they call them, right?
To go with it?
To get the ones I usually see are like cruet holders.
Yes, those ones have like little round spots for all the little oil, vinegar, salt, and pepper, and like a toothpick holder or a mustard to sit in. Yeah, but what you had there was more of a tidbit bowl or a tidbit tray if it's flat.
So this is a good thing that I came this way, because look what I found.
Not seeing it yet. Like you say, it's like I Spy.
See that?
What is it?
That Revereware frying pans.
Oh, yeah, now I see it. That's the bottom of it you're pointing to. Okay.
Yep, and I've been looking for that size. I took all of the Revereware home and got rid of all my stuff. Everything that was just cheap junk pots and pans.
Yeah. Those
And
look
now
like those racks for holding warming trays in front of you.
Yes. And there's probably a thing that goes in it, but now I know where. I don't need to dig them out right now, but now I know where they are, because I knew that they were here.
Yeah.
But that's the big, huge one that I was looking for, and when I looked it up on eBay, I want to say they wanted $400 just for that pot. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. There was a great big box chandelier that was here before, so I put those there and forgot that I put them there. But at the time that I put them there, I was just like, oh my God, what is one person going to do with so many pots and pans? And I wasn't interested. And that's another example of learning the appreciation of something.
Yep.
Of the quality of something.
With your chandelier, and did you put that one out somewhere?
went to Rehouse and
Okay.
was sold.
Oh, good.
That was originally, I mean, because this stuff, all you could do was like pick up one thing at a time and try to make a decision right then and there,
Yeah.
what to do with it.
There are dealers that just sell the single prisms by themselves and have tables full of them at shows.
There's tons of them here, but the chandeliers are here as well. This is the box that was starting for that local artist. And that's really cracked, so. Oh, what else we got? I don't think there's any glass there. That hobnail lamp back there, keeping that.
Did you ever live in this house?
Yes, I
Okay.
was raised in this house. And it didn't look like this when I was a kid. It was a big, everything had its place. The only place that was a little bit cluttered was downstairs in the basement because she refinished furniture.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was big and open, and every holiday was celebrated. And hoarding is a result of grief and trauma.
Yeah, I can get that. So yeah, like buffering yourself some things. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I left home very young, and that was a shock to her system because I was her purpose.
Well, I tell you, I get it. I tell you what, 3 kids and they're all out of the house. They're back and forth with COVID, and all of a sudden now they're all gone, and I'm like, okay, well, this is a shock to the system.
Yeah. And it's another. You have to make sure you really like your spouse at that point.
Ain't that the truth?
So, I mean, I'm pretty lucky with Babes because we met at the beginning of the pandemic, so all we could do was spend time together.
Yeah.
There was nothing to distract us. Everything was closed. So,
Yep.
but yeah, she had never remarried. My parents split when I was 4, around that age. And yeah, she just, this is the world that she dove into after my stubborn, independent self stopped coming home.
Yep. Yep. I totally get that.
So this was very cool, Miss Becky.
Did we accomplish something?
I feel like we accomplished something. You gave me an enormous amount of search words that I did not have.
Mm-hmm.
You gave me an idea of what some things will sell for, and I will definitely load up my little shop, my sale shelves. I have my 4 sale shelves over here, and only stuff that I have got an idea of its value and made a decision on what to let it go for goes in these shelves.
Yeah, you should have a good even dozen to 20 some pieces from what we looked at that you could pull from easily that can go with Dee's sale.
Yeah. Oh, I've definitely got, I mean, I'm not just going to do glassware.
Oh, yeah. I mean, to mix in with other things, but you got some good pieces in there, too.
I'll try anything in a live sale. I have a lot of linens and stuff like that, but
yep.
I definitely wanted to spend some time with you just talking about glass.
I was going to see if I can tip it. I know it might dizzy people, but do you see the chandelier up there?
Mm-hmm.
That was one my dad brought home once from some auction, and he hung it in my room when I was like 10 or 12 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we moved into this house, he brought it from my room, or the first house we moved into, he put it in, and then he brought it here and installed it here for us too.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Well, okay, when is the sale? What time? Oh, okay, it's on the 29th.
Mm-hmm.
I have a sale every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. And I will always bring various whatevers. Maybe some of the stuff that you saw today and things like that. But this sale in particular that I was trying to get ready for, it's going to be on the Thrill of the Thrift.
You're lagging on my end, but...
I see you like... If your hubby is on the internet, it could be your house.
There we go. Now I hear you.
Okay. Um, Thrill of the Thrift, Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Yep, and
Okay.
Tony is just Tony.
Wonderful. I butcher people's
Yep.
names. I'm terrible at reading them and pronouncing them. I'm better at just hearing them. So I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate you saying something because I will continually say it wrong.
Well, Miss Becky, if you ever want to come and help me learn, most of the time, like I said, my working lives, we literally learn on the go. And
Hmm.
it's usually like today, we didn't interact as much with the chat, and I apologize to people if you didn't feel seen. I'm sorry. We
I
we
think
will
most
be
of their questions they were talking amongst themselves, and a few of them I brought up. So I think we're pretty good. But yeah.
okay. Okay. Thrill of the Thrift, Saturday at 3 p.m. Yes, she does not have a reminder thing out for it, or at least I haven't seen one.
Yeah.
Isn't
Well,
she
and
amazing? She's so knowledgeable.
and I'm gonna have to apologize right now. That's our big birthday party day, so I won't be watching
That's okay.
because I would love to. I'll watch it on the replay or something. So both Jeff and I are hitting a big milestone this year, and we decided just to throw a party for ourselves and have everybody get together who wants to just, have some time to
Nice.
hang out and just be together and, for a
You
fun,
Are you both turning 25?
yes, yes.
Of course.
No, we have a 25-year-old daughter. Can you believe that? She's
So are you
actually,
celebrating the 25th anniversary of your 25th birthday?
yeah, yes, we are.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, happy
So
25th anniversary.
thank you. Yeah, our birthdays are like 23 days apart. So
That's cool.
we're just
Yeah,
gonna hang out and have a
babes,
good time.
babes and I, our birthdays are 21 days apart
Mhm.
in July.
Yeah, because mine's next week, and then his is like the second week of February. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Well, Miss Becky, this has been super cool, and I'm super appreciative.
Well,
And I
thank you
know
so
a
much.
lot. I know my subscribers, my followers, anybody that joined today. I know that they're appreciative.
Mhm.
They love watching you drop knowledge bombs. Really, really love it.
Well, thank
Yes.
you so much. And go see my channel. There's a few like
Yep.
I have some videos of Mosser. I have a video from Blinko. I have several different fin conventions and shows. So if you want
Mm-hmm.
to see some glass, there's some glass videos out there on my channel because that's
Yep.
where we try and focus for sure. So,
It's so
and
funny with me. I mean, I know that the information is out there. It goes back to, the whole superhuman. You
you
only have
can't
so
do it
much
all.
time. You have
No.
so much time to watch it all and listen to it all. And especially when you're learning something, you really need to dedicate your
Hmm.
attention,
Yep.
and that you can't multitask at the same time. So
Yeah. And my mom calls it like genealogy. It gets so complicated sometimes.
yeah,
It's so many rabbit trails that you can't come back to the little thing you're trying to look for.
yeah.
So,
So I am going to not multitask today. I am going home to help Babes with shipping. So we've got a lot of stuff packed up. If it's easy to combine people's boxes,
hmm.
like the media mail boxes, I'm leaving those alone because they're nice and cheap.
Yep.
With media mail.
Just,
But we have a pretty hefty pile in the shop. So
yeah. Brett says, alert, alert, incoming glass addiction.
nice,
Yeah.
very
My
nice.
husband's name is Jeff. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going
Yeah.
home to help pack and
Well, and it's
get
so easy to
invoices out.
get like interested in something when somebody else is interested in and excited about it too. So,
True story. True story.
so next I'm going to be doing a video on my glass that I just rearranged right up here that is totally blown out by the sunlight. So I'm
Yeah.
going to get some good pictures and post some new stuff.
Watch and see how many people I get interested in quilting and stuff when this
Hmm.
house is finally sold, cuz
I wish I
I
could quilt.
maybe you will. Maybe you will after I do some, cuz I am definitely going to balance who I was before,
Mm-hmm.
in my interests better once this house is gone and there isn't as much pressure.
Yeah. I used to
I
sew all my
did. I
kids'
did, babes.
clothes.
I spent a good 15 minutes talking about her.
Mm-hmm.
So her name, she's in Iowa, the antique store. You can find it on Facebook.
Excuse me.
Um it's called Angel's Antiques with an apostrophe.
Do you know what city she's in?
She's in let's see.
Because I'm, we crisscross all over the place.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to disappear for a second to go get the link. Hold on.
Yeah, I need to get a for quilting. I need to get a working sewing machine. It's fun to see everybody's stories about the things that they're seeing and how it brings back a lot of childhood memories also. And I think that's one of the reasons why the majority of people start collecting things is because it brings back those childhood good memories and they want to have those things in their life so they can see those memories in their collection.
It doesn't look like.
Uh-oh, she's not finding it easy. Oh,
All right, it doesn't look like StreamYard gives me the ability to type in the chat on my phone. So,
okay.
Brett, I just sent you the link through Instagram to her store's Facebook page. Yes, if you could share the link in the chat, at least to her Facebook, um, you're definitely going to hear more about her. So it's Vale from Iowa. I forget what she said her husband's name was. I think it's Russ. And he's a pastor. And they have the antique store, huge antique store, and bakery and candy shop.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
So we're going to be
And
making some trips with our shows and stuff coming up again. And it's always, I don't like going straight back and forth. I always like going one way and then coming back another way so we can see all sorts of different things and snoop in
mm-hmm.
different shops.
Yep. And I will like I said, right now she's just getting going with her YouTube channel, and she took off like a rocket, and she's like, this is what I'm doing. We're going to be doing live sales, and,
Mm-hmm.
and she's just ready to hit it running, and she just seems like a really really great lady. So you'll
Yeah.
definitely hear more about her.
So you've done stuff with Miss Pat too, right?
Pat Doodles?
Yeah.
I love me
Right.
some
Yeah.
Pat
I'm trying to
Doodles.
connect all the dots. So my daughter Kari was on with Pat and Jody one night on a
Yes,
Thursday night
that's
show.
yep.
And then and she had a great time. That was so much fun watching. And then when
Mhm.
she got off of that, her boss was like, "Wait, we can do live sales on YouTube?" And
Yeah.
I think he's looking into figuring out how to do it because of his
Yeah.
frame shop and how to do that from there too because he's already got a big social media presence. I'm
Yeah.
like, "Well, she's like he's all excited now." I'm like, "Well,
Yeah.
great,
I mean,
you know?"
the social media presence beforehand is
Mhm.
what is going to build your channel. And that's another thing that I told to Val, from the beginning. I said put yourself out there. Be
Yeah.
genuine, number 1, and be willing to share your life, because it's a
Well,
community. It's totally different
yeah.
from, you know, static sales, selling online, or
Mhm.
or anything like that.
It
It's
was
more
a
about.
big question though when I want it do I really want to put my whole life out there? It feels like
Yeah.
everybody can see in on the fishbowl, kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
It's like, well, all
and
right.
and and I felt that way in the beginning too, and I was very nervous about doing it,
Yeah.
but I had a good experience going out the gate. Immediately the people that started
Yeah.
following me cared for me, and they've been with me since the beginning. So I feel, and I know that this is probably a very naive way to think, but I feel very much in a protected bubble
Oh yeah.
in the people that follow me and keep
Like,
track of
yeah.
my life.
The
Yeah.
people who know us and like us
Yes.
and want us to do well are very protective of us as well,
Yes.
which is
Yes.
awesome.
Yep.
They have our backs, period.
Yes.
So,
And so I told her that. I said,
so I
just,
know, do you know the
you're frozen. You just froze. Am I froze?
on my end? There it is.
I don't know
back.
what happened.
Chris Roselli's always been a huge cheerleader for me since the beginning. I don't know where and how she got and found
Yeah.
me, but she's like, don't mess with Becky.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, you
Yeah.
go, Chris. Thank you.
Yeah, very much. And they love whacking the trolls, and
Mhm.
you know, if somebody does something negative on any of my videos, I don't know how they see it, but it's like dogpile on the negative, and I'm able to delete it and stay in my positive bubble. And you
Yep.
know, I explained to her, try to provide, you know, you're looking for new friends, you're looking to meet people, and I said, and that's the channels that I've seen, that's where they're being successful. Either that or they're just completely entertaining.
Yeah.
But I am certainly not a pro at anything. I just tried to guide her as much as my visibility,
Well, and
because
I think it's only
she responded to that message in that group, because they're really struggling. They really need.
well, and you know the
money.
potential of this, so it's nice to be able to suggest that to someone as an option.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
All right, Miss Becky, I'm going to go home and help with shipping, because anybody that is thinking about starting a channel or anything like that, or is thinking about doing live sales and you're not doing live sales, understand that it is not as easy as it looks.
Yeah. All my invoicing is done, but yeah, I have three lives that I need to ship.
Yep.
I'm working my way through them.
and it's, you have to be organized and professional, and you have to put just as much time in the back end of things as you do in the front end, if not more.
And on the flip side of that, it's very satisfying to see it go out the door and to be done with it and mark it off the list.
I love it. I count the totes. I count the totes that go out.
I know. I took 16 boxes to the mail on Thursday.
Very nice.
So that was awesome.
I don't count the boxes, because the boxes have the cardboard and they have the packing. I count the totes as they're leaving the house, going to the shipping department at, or we call it Oreo's house, because I say my house, and it's like, which one? Okay, good. I'm glad you guys found her. I have even been able to alert other channels when I see a troll. Perfect. All right, you guys, I will be live with Julie Smurf tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Don't know what I'm going to be up to just yet, but I'm sure it'll be fun. I hope you guys come.
And then we get to collab again in February again, so that'll be fun.
Yes. So in February, hopefully
20th and the 23rd. Those I have in my head for some reason. Those ones have stuck.
Yep. So the 20th, I think, is a Saturday.
I think it's a Sunday.
The 20th is a Sunday. So what we're going to do is Becky is going to join Julie Smurf and I on a working live, and Becky is going to help me pick higher end pieces, and we are going to do a very high end glass sale on February 20th on that Wednesday night. So it'll probably be mostly, I mean, if we can do some set prices, we'll do some set prices, but a lot of it will be offer ups and things like that. And we're going to try to advertise.
Got to get to that glowy cabinet.
Yeah. Yeah. Got to get stuff out of here, because, you know, we're paying the tax bill, both tax bills next week. And now we got to start stocking money aside for the siding.
Yep.
56 days till spring.
Oh, yay. I'll count that one down with you anytime.
56 days until spring.
Yes. As soon as we hit that winter equinox, I'm like, yes, we get 2 more days of sunshine a day.
Nice. All right, well, I see a lot of conversations going in the chat, and I hate to cut them off on you guys, but I think you can still keep chatting if we end. But hope to see you tomorrow. Becky,
Sounds
thanks
good.
again. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It's so much fun. Hope to see you soon.
Bye, guys.